Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. Sorry for the delay. It's been a few days since I put up a draft. I finally finished the first prototype of my board game, Travelers of Storia. So hopefully over the next few weeks here, I'm going to have some videos, tutorial videos posted for that, which will eventually segue into the Kickstarter that I'm working on for it. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, let's get on to the packs. So we've got Volrath's Shapeshifter, which is a card that I'm not super impressed with, to be honest. Uh, Someone, what was it, just left a comment on the website, actually, that Battle Screech is considered by most to be the best common. Well, who am I to deny that? To be honest, I haven't played with it yet, but I've certainly played against it, and every time I play against it, I'm pretty upset, so I guess I could get behind that. Blastoderm is a sweet card, too. But let's go with the whole Battle Screech thing. I can jump on this bandwagon. Best common. Let's see if that's the case. Alright, follow-up pick. Let's see here. Gush is pretty cool. Cloud of Fairies. Cycles, the flyer. Not much to say. Phantom Nomad does not seem like the best follow-up Battle Screech pick, honestly. It is literally a bear that can block twice. Not super impressed with it. It does wear enchantments very well. That was always the unfortunate mistake when they made the Phantom cycle of creatures, was that, or maybe they knew that it did that, but it doesn't seem very intuitive, I guess. But if you put an enchantment or something that buffs it permanently, it's unable to die. So, not via counters, mind you, but, I mean, there's nothing else in here that's honestly even, it's just not an exciting second pick, but there's nothing in there that was, like, super exciting. Alright, Imperial Armor is quite good. Solteri Trooper is very good, too. Unblockable. Double Repel, which is insane. Goblin Trenches is cool. I actually think this card's great. Just spit out a ton of tokens. And they're white, too, so you even get the nice little flashback capability easier with Battle Screech. That's not that bad of a pick. Imperial Armor is just insane, though. Just insane. You get a Shadow guy, you stick it on there, you kill him in 3 turns. That's what I think. Goblin Trenches moves us into red right away. But maybe we can get some sort of white token strategy going. There are, I believe, at least 3 rares that buff all of your creatures. So that would be pretty good. Especially with this guy, too. That's another way that he would never die, I guess. I think Imperial Armor is probably better, though, because it's just really stupid, powerful card that tends to give +5/+5 for 3 mana or something. Alright, I always go the Ophidian route. We've also got Seal of Cleansing, Solar Blast. Well, Solar Blast is in fact a burn spell, a pretty good one. So maybe that, I mean, I could also go Templar because it's, you know, decent 6 mana, 3/6 Vigilance, or Plane Cycler, both of which are decent. Let's go with the Solar Blast here. I mean, hard to deny a straight up burn spell, right? With extra value. Let's see if we can make some sort of red-white nonsense work out here. Okay, fairly late counter spell. Renewed Faith does cycle, but it's not super exciting. Scabland, alright, maybe we get some fixing going. I can get behind that. It's better than Skirk Prospector, because I doubt we're goblins. Alright, let's go Scabland, I'll do it. I really don't like these lands, by the way, but alright, gamble, search your library for a card, put the card in your hand, discard a card at random. Yeah, so it potentially does nothing, but it also potentially does some really good things for you. Good blue cards in here. I'm very cool with Bodyguard, especially if I have an Imperial Armor. I'd like to be able to protect a guy for 1 mana. Maybe we play some sort of white weenie beatdown thing if that can work out, but I think Bodyguard's actually just a great card. Very strong card. Suchi, pretty efficient. I think it's perfectly fine. Giant strengths are fine as well, but not terribly exciting. Let's go with Suchi. It's an efficient beater. Alright, Phantom Nomad number 2. Also a hulking goblin, which is less impressive. Couple black cards that are actually decent. Let's go with the Nomad. Gilded Light. Not super feeling that. Does have cycling though. If I pick up a Lightning Rift, I'm going to be happy I have a Gilded Light. Because I already have one other cycler too. Otherwise it's Aftershock, which is, you know, a decent removal spell. Hits anything. There are some fatties in this format, but I haven't really had Aftershock be all that. I think I'll see more. I'm going to take the Gilded Light, not that it's good, but in case I end up with Astral Slide or some other cycling effect. Alright, we can take a Goblin Patrol. You don't have to play goblins to like a 1-drop 2-1. So, guess I can dig that. Number 2, or Goblin Ringleader, but I don't think that we're going to be goblin-y enough to make that work. Let's take the Patrol instead. Perhaps go for some beatdown-ish list. It'd be nice to get some of the white buff spells. Alright, we've got Seal of Cleansing versus Noble Templar. I think we're going with the Templar. This is a nice sideboard card, but I can actually main deck Templar. It has cycling, it also... Alright, we can take Falter too. This actually looks like a deck that could easily run Falter. And Pillaging Horde, I mean... Yeah, it's a card. It's not that good. We'll take it. Giant Strength. Okay, well, last pick red card makes me feel a little bit better about going into red, but now I kind of wish we had Goblin Trenches instead of whatever I took over it. I hope I didn't take a Phantom Nomad over it. I took the Armor over it, which I don't necessarily regret. They were both really solid cards. Smokestack. Well, I remember that was a vintage deck, but how much you want to bet it's not worth a penny? Selling. Smokestack 1. There you go. There's some unexciting stuff. I can put a soot counter on it. Beginning of each player's upkeep, that player's sacrifice is permanent. Well, that would have been really good with a token strategy. Maybe we've got enough cheap stuff where we can make Smokestack work. Seems like a bit of a long-term combo-ish idea. I might just want the Trooper. Pretty much unblockable, 2-mana, 2-2. Seems like a little bit more in line with what we're doing, while simultaneously being less complex than Smokestack. So, I like that. There's Goblin Goon, too, which is good with a token strategy. But I'm going to take the Trooper. Let's get the cheap stuff going here. I tend to never play beatdown in this format, so let's give it a go here. Okay. Foil Survival of the Fittest. That's interesting. I have a regular that's not worth anything, so I guess I can't imagine a foil one being worth that much more. So much so that no one cares. Okay. Afterlife. Destroy a creature. They get a dude. I think we just go with Emissary. Get some more Shadow online. Some more 2-drops going. Or, I guess we take the Solar Blast. More burn is good. Guess hope to wheel the 2-drop. We'll see if that happens. Okay, Mystic Zealot is good. Goblin Commando is kind of a built-in 2-for-1. Mistmoon Griffin is very interesting as well. We don't have super great creatures to bring back with the Mistmoon Griffin. Mystic Zealot is pretty good. I mean, I like the threshold on it. It gains evasion. I like the Goblin Commando too, though. We don't have any 5-drops. He comes down, he kills something, likely. Finishes something off. We kind of are in need of more removal. Skirk Drill Sergeant's not really doing it beyond being a 2-drop 2-1. I think we'll go with the Commando. I like the 2-for-1. I do like the Mystic Zealot a lot, though. I mean, I guess I'd probably play the Zealot over the 4-drop I just cut that we're not playing. But I like the Commando. I like killing things. Playing things and killing things. Alright, so now we have Brilliant Halo, which is okay. I think we're just taking the 3rd Solar Blast. Another Commando, another Griffin, Renewed Faith, all of which are decent. But yeah, we're just going to go with Solar Blast number 3. Solar Blast the crap out of some things. Okay, Stoic Champion is quite good. Jeldoran Outpost. I passed it before and lost against it, so I definitely see the value of it. I don't mind the Solteri Trooper either because it's pretty much evasive most of the time. Stoic Champ, how many things do we even have a value for it? We don't have a ton. The Gilded Light. Oh, I guess these Solar Blasts and the Templar. That's pretty good, actually. Jeldoran Outpost. I don't know how good this is in an aggressive style deck. I guess it's okay. But it seems a bit slow. I'm going to take the Champ. I've had good experience with this guy. Okay, so now it's about Witness for sideboard, but I think we're just going Emissary for more evasion. And 2-drops. Afterlife is removal, but that's okay. Let's take the Emissary. Alright, Reckless Charge. This absolutely looks like a Reckless Charge deck. Otherwise, we've got General, a couple other red cards in here. Shelter's a great card, too. Just a really great card. But we're going to go Reckless Charge because I'd rather go the damage route. Especially with our evasion that we already have. Alright, so we get a Aftershock now. Could also take a Gilded Light, but I don't even think we're playing the first one now. Even with the Stoic Champ. So, I guess there's not a great chance we're playing Aftershock either, but I'll still take it. Sideboard and such. Alright, we tabled Smokestack. Also tabled Goblin Patrol. We can go pretty deep on these Goblin Patrols, but the problem is they're not that good when you have a lot of 2-drops, because you're just not going to be able to play them. But then again, you just want as many 1-drops as you can, I imagine. Let's take the Smokestack. It's a rare. I know it's good with our deck. We just have all of these cheap things. So Smokestack is very good if you have just a bunch of cheap tokeny or whatever permanents to play. So we could take the Renewed Faith for cycling for that and get it a little life gain, but I think we probably want the Forgotten Cave instead because it's a cheaper cycle cost. But then again, this can gain us 6 life out of nowhere. And either way, I'm going to do it over Gilded Light, I guess. Let's do the land, I think. Just because it's a cheaper cycle. Guess we can take Salt Flats if for some reason there's some black card we want to splash, maybe. Alright, well, we tabled the Commando. That's pretty good. Do I want to play a second one or Renewed Faith? I think we can take a second Commando. Take a second Falter. Probably don't need them both, though. I mean, Brilliant Halo's okay, too, but let's take the Falter, I guess. Guess we could have taken Hulking Goblin as well, but we're just not a very goblin-y deck, I don't think. How is Brilliant Halo? We're going to take the Witness for the sideboard because I don't have any last pick Hulking Goblin. Alright. Well, we're still not a goblin deck, even though we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblins. Badlands. I think the pick's probably Trapper unless Badlands worth a bunch, which I don't think it is. What do you got for me? Buying Badlands. 3. It's not bad. Buying at 3, typically not bad. I think I want the Trapper more, though. It's going to be a little more essential to us winning, I think. Tapping dudes down, getting in with teams seems pretty good. Evasive guy is also good, but I'd rather have tap down dude. Yeah, let's take the trapper. Alright, bodyguard number 2, Beetleback Chief's very good, especially with the smokestack. That makes sense to me. I'd play it over Aftershock or Suchi at this point. So I guess we'll take the Beetleback dude. What does this do? Oh, that's kind of cool. A dethroned guy, huh? Alright. It's the first time I've seen him. Bodyguard number 2 is fine too, but yeah, we're going to go with the Chief. Let's make this smokestack plan work out for us. Let's cut the Aftershock. Gust Carrier flies. That seems like the right choice. Getting pretty color intensive, but I think at this point we're probably playing 17 lands anyway. We've got a cycle land and a plain cycler. Yeah, let's take the Harrier. Get a flyer. Okay, Commando number 3. Not much of a choice beyond that. Yeah, really not. Guess we could go that route. Deathblade Elite, you know, he's a 1-drop. He's not that terrible. Looks like we're definitely getting cut this pack, though, unless just not much was opened. I mean, we have a decent amount of goblins, but I don't even want the hulking goblin. He's kind of a turd. Let's take the Deathblade Elite. You can kill some random X1s if we want to, or just take a blocker away if you have enough mana. Goblin Warchief. I guess at worst he's got haste, and he makes these guys cheaper. Yeah, he's actually pretty good in here. Scabland number 2. We actually need the mana fixing, although this does slow us down as well. Well, that's alright. We won't be punished as bad since we're playing 17 lands. Wall of Diffusion's a decent sideboard, and Shelter is actually pretty good too, but at this point we've got too many spells to play, which is a good problem to have, I would say, but maybe we don't want too many tap lands. I don't know. I mean, I do kind of want a Shelter, I guess. Protecting and drawing is pretty, it's like a built-in 2-for-1. It straight up is a built-in 2-for-1. I gotta take it. It's counter your spell plus draw a card is essentially what it reads. Okay, so we could take the Cycler, but I'm actually very happy to take the Radiance Judgment. It gives us another removal spell or a cycle effect, so both of those are good in my mind. So we have more than enough spells to play, which is a good place to be in. And we have a ton of creatures, which is also good. I would have liked to have gotten maybe 5 more Reckless Charges. That would have been nice. Don't need any of these cards. I'm trying to think what's the best against us. None of them really. Guess we'll take the Mantis. It blocks us reasonably well. Provoke could be annoying. Don't have a ton of flyers for the Winds of Wirewood or whatever. So I have to make a ton of cuts, which is good, but I don't know what I want to play yet and what I want to cut. Probably going to end up cutting at least one Commando. Probably going to end up cutting Suchi maybe, although he's pretty efficient. I don't know if I'm on the Warchief plan or not. I mean, we do have goblins like the Commandos to get cheaper off of them, which is cool, but I don't know if I'm sold. I mean, yeah, this guy cheaper too, and coming out swinging. I don't know. I think none of these cards really matter. Guess Krosan Varine maybe can eat some of our guys up, but he can't even do it that well. I'm not going to play Matron. I'm not going to play Giant Strength. Maybe if I need an Aftershock again, a second one. Tangle, I guess, could be pretty good against us. None of the other things really matter. And I would rather my opponent play a Fledgling Djinn than a Carnophage, I think. I've lost against Lurking Evil before, surprisingly. Rescind, second to last. Okay, doesn't make sense. Last pick, Wall of Diffusion. Very cool, since this is a good sideboard card. But then again, this isn't the deck that's going to be sideboarding Wall of Diffusion. So I'll have to come up with a good plan here about what we're playing and what's getting cut. Because I am not 100% yet, but I'm almost positive we're going to try Smokestack out. So my only regret, I think, at this point I would have liked to have gotten the Goblin Trenches since we got the Smokestack, but that's alright. I don't think we're playing the Hulking Goblin because not being able to block isn't good. I don't even know yet if we're doing the Chief. He's 3 mana, 2/2 haste, which is okay, but at this point we're just looking for good value spells. Don't need that. Probably like these. This is 25. And that's without Smokestack and Suchi. And only one Falter. Alright, let's rearrange some stuff here. This is kind of a creature. Well, I definitely think we have too many Goblin Commandos, probably. Does seem like a lot. So we'll go down to 2 Commandos. Then I've got to make, what, 3 more cuts? Guess I'd prefer to not cut any more creatures, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm really not even feeling the Smokestack anymore, really. I mean, I've got a lot of cheap stuff, but is it even worth it? My tokens are Screech and Chief. Nothing else. I think I'm cutting the Smokestack. I wanted to play it because we've got like a reasonable strategy with it, but it's not like consistent enough. I've got too much other weird stuff going on to try and make Smokestack work. Basically, I don't have enough permanents to make Smokestack work, is really what it boils down to. Battle Screech and Beetleback Chief are our only ones that really give us the extra kick in the permanent to sack department, and 2 cards to me is just not enough. So I have to make 2 more cuts. We might cut the Templar. He's fine. He works well with Stoic Champion, but 3/6 Vigilance for 6 is like probably not good enough. I'd rather have like a removal spell, I think. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe this removal spell is narrow enough where I want to swap it with Noble Templar, but if anybody slaps down an Armadillo Cloak, I want to be able to kill it. And you can always cycle it too. So I need to make 1 more cut, and it better not be a creature. So what is it going to be? Well, this seems like it's difficult to cut any of these, doesn't it? Oh, I see. Okay, well, Battle Screech counts as a creature, so I guess technically I can cut 1 more creature. Why don't we cut... Am I cutting a Patrol? But it's a 1-drop. Hmm. Yeah, screw it. I'll cut a second commando. They're fine, but they're 5 mana 2/2s that possibly kill something. They're not really necessary. So really we're at 15 creatures with the Battle Screech, which is usually my bare minimum amount I want for any deck, but especially a beatdown deck. We've got Reckless Charge for some push, Falter as well. I don't know. This deck's not that good. It's not really what I initially wanted it to be. We didn't really get the cards to make it super over the top, so I don't really like it all that much, but it could win. We'll see. So we're playing the Forgotten Cave in the Scabland. What was colors again? I think we probably are going to do close to an even split. 9-6, I'd like to not do it that way. We need the patrol on turn 1, so I'd rather do 8-7, if anything. Got 2 tap lands too, so we can't even abuse patrol that well. Hmm. Yeah, I guess there's not much else to say. This deck's pretty low on the totem pole. I'd probably rate it like 5 out of 10 or something like that. It's probably the worst Vintage Masters deck I've drafted so far. That might not actually be right. I had a green-black deck that was one of the ugliest decks I've ever seen in my life, and it ended up going 2-1, so as Magic goes, anything can happen. But yes, I don't like this list very much. It's possible it could win. I guess we'll find out. So I'll see you round 1.